Right, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I'm just trying to refresh the chat. I see JB's here. Awesome, my brother. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Right, let's do this. Right, let's do this. So markets come down a little bit. Massive discount. Massive discount. There was a member from our Discord. He was here a few days ago. He did mention 60k, and I did have an order at 60k, even though I believed that it wouldn't go below the 63k. Unfortunately, it did, and fortunately for him, he was right. So hats off. He got it right, and my order that I did put at 60 did fill. So thanks to him, I got myself a nice little 60k BTC. Happy days. The thing is looking at the market right now, of course everybody thinks it's bloody, oh my god, it's bleeding out, and it did bleed out. I'll be honest with you. I mean, if you just look at what the market did, right, it bled out quite a bit, because since yesterday, total bleed was approximately 15%. I see Albion plays here. Awesome, Albion. Awesome. Now I know who you are. Because I was like, I remember you did mention who you are on Discord, and I was like, okay, now I know who I'm talking to. Because I do get confused, guys. There's so many names, so many groups, so many Discords, so many WhatsApp groups, so many different nicknames, and I do get mixed up sometimes because of how many people there are. But awesome, I know exactly who you are now, and thank you very much for the charts. And also, when you're looking at the Heikinashi, we talked about it, you do get a lot more accurate data, and I'll kind of demonstrate this here as well. So absolutely very good. Keep up the good work. Keep on posting those good things. It helps the community. I see Costin here. Awesome, my brother, nice to see you. So that's what the market did, like a 14-15% dump, right? And everyone's like getting all afraid, oh, the market's done, oh, Bitcoin market's crashed and this and that and everything. Guys, calm down, because do you know what a market crash is? When we crash 30%, 40%, 50%, that's what we consider a crash. Now, of course, we had two different trajectory here, two different trends here. Now, one trend is invalidated, which is this trend here. So I will take this line off right now because it is invalidated. However, our longer trend line is still valid. So we still know that our longer trend line is still valid, plus it held support pretty much on that particular line. So super solid. I don't see this being a problem. I just see this being a slight little pullback and a little bit of a correction, and I'll explain the correction to make everybody understand exactly what happened, right? Because we've been on a rip since here. If you look carefully, when the market recovered, guys, the market recovered, right? You can look here, $1.15 trillion. The market pumped $1.15 trillion. And if you look, this is on a daily, and you can see for 42 days straight. This market has been pumping 42 days straight. And actually, if you go to the bottom where we actually dumped down, so remember the May dump, then it changes everything. 112 days. 112 days. So I just want you to get this into perspective that, guys, we've been on a rip for 100 and whatever days. I mean, if we want to break it down and say, well, Sham, you're saying we've been on a rip, but we did have a dump. Okay, fine. We pumped 49 days. We then had a dump from here to here, for example. We had a dump which lasted 22 days. And then from here, you can see we were on a rip until a few days ago, which actually gave us another 43 days. So we can see now a pattern forming. We pump, we dump, we pump, we dump. And just by following this, we can say, well, this can last us a few days or whatever. We can speculate on certain things, but we do know that we've been on a constant rip for some time, right? So if we do calculate the entire distance, so up to, say let's just do up to this particular level, is 112 days, right? Which is okay. Now, talking about BTC, same story. Of course, you want to count the dip, that's fine by me. But if you look from where we were, we went all the way up to here. We did 131% pump. 131% pump. You can see the number, and it was 112 days. So if we get a 15%, guys, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Okay, so let's get that kind of, try and understand exactly what the market is doing, how all of this is doing. So we do know, again, same pattern, BTC. You can see we had a 49-day pump and the market followed along, and we dumped, and you can see this dump lasted 22 days. And then again, same again, you can see I can overlap this just here, and we pumped all the way for another 41, 42 days, whatever you want to call it, right? We did that. So of course, now we can expect, if this is true, then we can expect a dump for another, say, let's just do up to here, for example. Just do up to here. So 25 days, 20 days, whatever we want to call it, right? I mean, actually, we don't even have to go that far. 16, 17 days. Why? Because if you look at this yellow line here, it's actually the options expiry date. So we could expect this market to be bloody for another 16, 17 days. And then it should pick up again. So that should be really, really cool to see. So, as I said, if you got to look at the maths, where it is right now, what it is doing right now, and, accept what the market is giving. Hey Ramo, also my brother. Albin's here. I have to get back to my lecture. It was my break. Also my brother. No worries. Carry on. Study hard. You're doing awesome. Keep it up, my brother. Ramo, awesome, my bro. So this is what we saw. We saw this market movement, right? Greater market movement, whether it was on the total market cap or whether it was on BTC. We saw this massive movement upwards for all this time. So we were due for a pullback. And if we didn't have a pullback, guys, then we're uncertain, right? And I know you're probably thinking, this guy's mad. What the hell is he talking about? What is uncertain about it? Well, we're uncertain where the top is. Now, one thing for certain that we will have is a bottom. We know we're going to make a bottom. That's a certainty we will have. Like, okay, this is going to be the bottom, right? And then we can move from there. So let me bring you on another chart just to kind of show you. So this is the BTC chart, and I've got it on the 4-hourly. And remember, I told you, if we enter this particular zone, and I showed it on a daily, right? I showed you, if we enter this zone, it's going to be like a quicksand. And you can see how this quicksand affected it. It just sucks you through. It just pulls you right through. And of course, where did we get our support? I mean, I'm zooming in just to show you. Let me get rid of this as well. Just look at this. We found support exactly on the bottom of these two candles, which is the body, which is exactly in this particular location. So the quicksand did come into effect. It did suck it down. Luckily for us, we are very fortunate, it didn't pull us into the danger zone, because this danger zone would have invalidated everything. This whole pattern, this whole trend would have been invalidated. Of course, this trend is already invalidated, so we can screw this right now. But that's what it's showing us, that this is the area. In fact, I can adjust this now and move it up to say, well, this is our area, and leave it like this and say, well, we don't want to enter this particular zone. If we do, this will be our new quicksand zone. Let me refresh the chats, guys. If you're new to the channel, smash those like buttons, smash those subscribe buttons, join the community. We're on Discord, we're everywhere, right? And we're also coming up with some crazy community projects and everything as well. So this is a community, it's growing, and it's going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. So let's do this. Let's see. I'm not joking, can't even refresh the whole damn thing. Okay, so super awesome. I can see a few people on the chat. Awesome. So that's what we got. That's where we are now, and we've got to get back out of this zone, right? And you can see I've drawn this little pattern here. So this is basically my way of drawing two. So one from the peak here, following the peak of this particular one, and then the other one, literally I'm just using the body. So if I just use the body, I see this particular angle here, and I've just put a triangle there just to kind of tell me what's going on right now. So yeah, but let's go into the 4-hourly, and we want to see what the 4-hourly is showing us, because I think that's a lot more accurate data for us right now from where we are. So we can see we've come down, we've come back to this particular range here. So this is more of our support zone. So if we are to use the quicksand effect, we know that this is the quicksand zone, Hold on, let me just activate this when I can bloody do it, because it's so big. Let's do it from this side and bring it down a little bit, just a tad bit, just up to here, right, just to make it more accurate. So we can see we've re-entered the zone. So we had the bounce, we had the support, we had the, you know, the whales waiting there. All the buy orders was here, my buy order was here as well, everybody's buy orders here, and we managed to get back up, right? So far on a 4 hourly, we are seeing the signals are very clear that that was probably it. This was where the signal was that our guys were going to shoot down, and it shot down. But the RSI and stochastic RSI came back to the perfect zone. So on the 4 hourly, what we're seeing is a perfect entry. One is here, right? We see this perfect entry location here. This particular zone here is a perfect entry, and then this on the stochastic RSI is also showing us a massive perfect entry. So both of them signaling okay to enter. This is it. The market wants to push forward now. So super solid, super solid. Let's see where this goes. And as I said, we need to bounce around here a little bit. So what I'm actually looking at, we might do this within the next few hours, then do this, right? Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we actually do this, and then we break above and we confirm here. We're going to probably struggle around this line here, so for another 1 or 2 days, and then we might bounce here again, eventually break out. So what we need to see now is us breaking this micro trend, okay, because we destroyed all other trends. Now we need to hold this as our trend. Okay, so this is going to be our new trend zone, and then we're going to move from there. So yeah, I mean, it was an opportunity, a nice little opportunity for a nice little discount, but whatever happens, guys, please do understand one specific thing, and this is this particular zone here. We do not want to fall here, guys, because the moment we fall here, it's game over. It's absolutely game over. You know, if we follow this pattern here, we're okay. You know, we've got room to grow. So if we need to come down and bounce on this trend line, perfect. I don't see much of an issue. So let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. So guys, you have any questions, please throw it in the chat. Smash those like buttons. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Right. Yeah, same pattern. Ethereum played the same pattern, but unfortunately for Ethereum, I have to be honest with this one. Look, check this out. Right, and let me take some of the noise off, because there is a lot of noise. In fact, I'm going to take this Elliott wave thingy off for now, guys, and I'm also going to take this because it actually destroyed the trend. So now this trend line has been completely destroyed. What's up, my brother Matt? How you doing, man? I left you a message, Matt. You never got back to me, bro. You never got back to me. I left you a message on Discord. Double check, please, yeah? And we'll have a little conversation after this. I'm not going to be here too long today. I don't want to go on another 2.5 hour rant like I did yesterday, because yesterday we dragged on for about 2.5 hours. But it's all right. Nice little catch up. Good to see me streaming. Always, my brother, always. I missed it because I was busy with Paradexes, doing all sorts of other stuff, marketing, talking to other companies and loads of different people. That's why I was kind of busy. But normally I would never miss it. If I do, I will make it up anyway. Also, my brother KR, nice to see you here as well. So Ethereum is looking a bit nasty. It broke trend. The only thing I can do with Ethereum right now, if I was to put another trend line, is probably follow this larger trend line here and say, well, that's probably the best case scenario for Ethereum. However, good thing is it is in the quicksand zone, but it recovered very fast. Awesome. I've been super busy. I'll check it out. Also, my brother, make sure to connect with me. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what's going on. So I did leave a message on Discord, and then we'll move from there, yeah, because I would love to you know, trade some secrets with you. I don't see why not. You know, if you know something that might help me or help the community, that would be really awesome. You know, we can have a nice little conversation about that. So super awesome, and really thankful for that. So this is what I'm seeing. Again, I think if BTC plays that pattern that we're observing, right, you know, this kind of a pattern that we expect for it to bounce on the trend line, Ethereum can also do that. However, looking at Ethereum right now and how it kind of recovered better in the quicksand, because remember, Bitcoin right now is sitting in this particular, in the zone. It's sitting inside the zone. It's not looking that great yet. Okay, so when looking at it on a higher time frame, you can see it's not looking that great. It's got a long way to recover and get back above, get back onto the top. But when we look at the Ethereum, we can notice that Ethereum recovered a lot faster. It recovered a lot faster. It didn't go to the invalidation point. It held itself, because this would have been the invalidation point, but it didn't. So I see something quite funny happening. Ethereum might even lead the market when the recovery starts. So when we do see a pump form, I think Ethereum might just be the one that actually does it. So you can see from here, I'll just make it darker for you. Actually, yeah, let's do this. So you can see this pattern here, this particular wedge forming here, and we could see a nice little breakout from the wedge, unless it keeps on following this until this upward trend line. And then, yeah, we should be super awesome. But again, trading signals, look, RSI looks dead. Obviously the market dumped, everyone's all sentiments is gone, they're not happy, oh, we lost money and this and that, because people don't understand it's your digital property, which means you bought it, you own it, full stop. You know, so when the market comes back, you can always sell it back, never sell for a loss. So people don't understand. So what happens when the market dumps? Oh, we cut our losses, and then they get out as well. So they kind of drag the market down even more, and that is what is represented in this RSI. However, stochastic RSI, smart investors, the traders, they understand that this was a perfect opportunity to buy. Of course, it will be even better when people are more sad and we come below this yellow line here, right? That would be the perfect entry zone for us to shoot back up again, because you make the maximum amount of profits in these particular things. I see Tamil Gamer here, awesome, and I see some sort of dust or a hair or something. Anyway, so awesome. What's all these bunnies and teddies and everything you got, bro? All right, let's move over to BNB. BNB suffered a lot. Oh my days, I was surprised. I was like, what? How did BNB suffer this much, right? Because that was pretty insane. When I saw BNB move, I was like, that's just, what's going on? So you can see the dump affected it a little bit more. Again, it recovered absolutely fine, and it did hold support. So if we look at this specific area here, right, you can see how it actually held this zone as support, perfectly bounced on this particular area, absolutely fine. As long as it can hold this, it's got a chance to also lead as well. But again, discounts. In my opinion, I'm just looking at this, I'm like, this is discounts, you know, the yo-yo market, but discounts. That's what I'm seeing here. So let's see how that one goes. I see Bubble here. Awesome, my brother, nice to see you here. Guys, if you want to drop some coins here, you want to show some coins or whatever, drop one or two. I don't want to do too many, so I'll happily analyze some new coin for you. That's not an issue, but just do one or two. Haven't got too much time. I just want to get it over with, and then I got to shoot. I got to go and actually attend a meeting. So please don't drop too many, okay? Maybe one or two. Awesome. Right, so again, this trend is invalidated. All right, so again, today I'm going to sit down and probably change all my trend lines, because they have all been invalidated. If you look carefully, this is invalidated, right? Because we fell below the line. So we need to get back above the line in order to make sure that this starts moving forward. And of course, on DOT, I had another freaking trade and I lost even more. So yeah, this is like the second leverage trade on DOT that I've lost. So DOT hasn't been a great experience for me. But again, I'm super bullish, because end of the day, I'm only risking coins that I can afford to lose, and a very small amount anyway. My leverage isn't really ridiculously high. In fact, the trade is still open, by the way. The trade is still open. It's a 2x leverage. I even do a 2x leverage sometimes. So I did the 2x leverage on it. I'm still fine. I don't get wiped out until 32. So I'm okay. I've got a nice little safety bracket here. I think I'll be fine. You know, because I'm looking at this zone, I'm like, I don't think it's going to really go below this. If it does, then of course I need a nice little cushion, and my cushion area is the 32, you know, which is approximately around this zone here, as you can see. So super solid. Let's see how that works out. Let's go into Solana. It's okay, nothing, you know, nothing fascinating. Solana, we did have a trend line here, and I mean, we almost hit our target, but Solana, we're just going to wait for it. Again, it's reacting to the market. Because interest is moving from one to the other. you know, and there are so many different coins coming out as well, so that's something to also observe. For example, I noticed there's a coin called Gene. So this one here, let me just show you. Genopets here, this one here, Genopets. You see there's no rank for it because it's an ICO. It's actually launching in 17 hours across multiple exchanges. So those of you who have Bybit, you'll be able to participate in Bybit. I believe this coin, MEXC Global, they also have the launch as well, which is happening in 17 hours. Okay, so you can see all of this information when it basically launches. So this is all happening on multiple exchanges. They're doing the initial token launch, token offering, or whatever you want to call it, ICO. That's what's happening. So this is one of the reasons why this hasn't shown up, and it's on Solana, so of course a lot of people can stake the Solana and whatnot. And yeah, and the price they set for it is quite expensive actually, 80 cents. But there is a lot of hype around it, and of course launching in collaboration with other exchanges on the same day, same time, gives it the highest amount of liquidity. But I wasn't happy with the tokenomics of this particular thing, so I might just pump and dump, and that's about it. So I'm being honest with you, so trade cautiously. This could easily be a pump and dump coin. But yeah, that's what's happening on Solana anyway, nothing too fascinating. Cardano. I know my brother, he posted, Albin, he posted some stuff on Cardano on the Discord server. So far, yes, it looks bad, it looks dire, it looks mad. I'm not happy, and in fact, it fell below the trend line again. However, this trend line isn't invalidated because we weren't really expecting much. Of course, this trend line is invalidated now, so we can't use this anymore. But this trend line wasn't really broken completely, because remember, we came back the following day, we came back and bounced on this. So we're still hovering around, and our target zone was here, and we just never went beyond it. So we still have a target to meet. And of course, for Cardano, it's holding support. It only invalidates when it comes to that $1, you know. So again, I'll be very cautious with this one. If you're holding it, it should be fine. If you're not, then I mean, now's the time to buy, obviously. That's what I can say, but I won't suggest this to anybody. It's up to you what you do. Obviously, do your own research, but you can see it's showing a little bit more momentum to come down. And if it does come down, then this should be a lovely zone to pick it up, right? It should be a lovely zone to pick up the Cardano. That should be awesome. SHIB, I told everybody I'm not that super bullish on SHIB because it still needs to break above the trend. Looks good. It's holding this support. Now, this is the key. You want to make money on SHIB right now? The hype is died out. What you do? You put a buy order around this 4345 level. You put a buy order around here, and of course, no financial advice here. So what you do, you put a buy order around this specific region here. You see this zone here? You put a buy order around here, and every time it bounces in here, you make that money, you get out, right, and you take your profits. And you can see the bounces from here to, say for example here, you're looking at 19-20% basically. So you got this opportunity to make 10-15% on SHIB. So even today it's down a little bit. I mean, currently it's down 7%. It went down even more. So that was an opportunity. You could have monetized on that, and that's what it is. When the market is bloody, get excited. See, I got so many people here. I see El Bubble says hi. Chaos is dreams. My dreams was shattered, my brother. El Bubble says e-gold. Of course, those are coming. Those are standard, man. Those are coming. Raymo says swash. Yeah, we'll talk about swash, bro. No worries. JB says have a look at KDA. Awesome, my brother. I'll definitely do that. SM is here. Awesome. And all the members that are here, thank you very much. You guys are insane. SM is one of our first members, and he's still here. He's one of our oldest members. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Right, so let's move into eGold. Look, eGold, we were going to talk about it. eGold recovered fantastic. eGold recovered fantastic. You know, if you look at this, how it fell into the quicksand zone, the support zone, right, which was the previous resistance, fell into this, but recovered awesome. And from what I'm seeing, I can see a sideways channel forming here, right? This is looking like a sideways channel here. When we see this, we know that movements can take us up again, but it held trend. It stayed on this line so far. Again, as long as the market is moving up, this has opportunity to recover easily, move back up again. And one other thing you'll notice during a altcoin season or a altcoin run is a lot of the big boys are going to get dumped. They are going to get dumped hard, because you take money, you take your profits out the big boys and you put it into the small ones and you make even more, right? And then because the big boys are now down, you recycle that money that you made and you come back and you buy even more of the big boys. So that's what it is. But RSI, stochastic RSI on a daily, showing us that it's trending down, still looking bearish. So we've got a nice little divergence here. I will actually wait for that one to dump a little further, or whatever. Right. What else got? Okay, we'll talk about dreams. Let me just drop dreams here right now, so I'll do it in order, it's easier. Dreams had a nice little recovery coming back. Of course, dreams, for it to do anything, it needs to get back into these fib levels. All right, so yeah, it's fine. The trend is now getting secured compared to where it was before. So we can see we're forming a nice little trend here, which is fine. We're happy to do one day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. As long as we're doing higher lows, ain't complaining. Mac, my brother, that's it, Mac. You were right. In fact, if you go rewind back to the video, this video, if you rewind all the way back, you can see you got the credit for predicting the 60k, and I did have a buy order at the 60k, and hands up, I was wrong. In fact, it did go to 63k. I had a 63k and I had a 60k order, as I promised I will do. So all of those were done. Awesome. Nice little call. Thank you very much. You got to probably share with us how you're doing the call and how you got the number, my brother. That would be really nice. But yeah, lovely to share some secrets with you again. Awesome. So talking about dreams, we can see we need to come back to this particular area. In fact, not even this, actually. To be honest, this was a support. If I go here, this 54 cents would be where we need to go and confirm and reverse the trend, right? So if we can get ourselves doing these higher lows, right, these little lows here, and creep up, baby steps, get back to this level, and eventually have some green candles, I think we can completely reverse the trend, and it should be really good. So sad we are going lower. I would take profits. Awesome. How low are we going, my brother? Tell us. I'll have a buy order down there as well, because I don't short BTC. I'm a hodler, and I buy the dips. I buy the fucking dips. I love my dips. Yeah, so definitely going to be picking up some dips. Sorry guys, I've got a bad leg, but yeah, dips. So let's go into what we were doing. We did dreams. Yeah, dreams looking good. What's the next one? Swash. Let's see if Swash is here. If it is, then it's going to be great. Swash is going to wash everybody out. So Swash, not enough data for us to actually observe this. However, we'll see what we can pull out. Yeah, Swash, from what I looked at before, if you look carefully, this is Swash. So it did have a nice little recovery, but look, it hasn't really broken this zone. So what we need to see is basically Swash to come back here and find some support and then move up. But again, if the market doesn't give it to us, then unfortunately there's nothing really we can do about it. So far, stochastic RSI looking super solid on a daily. Let's see where it goes. Again, market trend is your friend. If it's not trending, it might never recover. So I'll be very patient with this, wait for this neckline to be broken, and then of course once this neckline is broken, then we have this specific area here that we need to also destroy. So this area here, as you can see, this particular area here, then we're off to the races. So we see what that does. So Mac Jason is saying 54. Okay, 54. Okay, we'll talk about 54. Let's go into this. Right, what was the other one? E-Gold, KDA. Right, let's talk about KDA. KDA is looking pretty awesome, actually. I'm not going to complain about KDA. So if you look at the patterns here, this is looking super awesome. Of course, if the market dumps, then we don't want it to dump anywhere below this. And so far, you can see even the market is deciding that it shouldn't dump below this. So yeah, I mean, this is super awesome. I can see a nice little pattern here. If this pattern does play out, then it should form something like this, which is pretty okay. But in order for this to be, I mean, where we are right now is a perfect zone. I don't really see anything. This is just a support. I can see that if this does go here, we can have some higher targets. In fact, if we did use a target right now, what would be our target? Let's have a look. Let's have a little look and see from where we are right now. If we were to follow to the bottom, what would be our target? Well, definitely the previous all-time high. So the previous all-time high would be our first target, and then of course we can start making a second target from that point. So we already have one target here. We're looking at about $35, but currently we're indicating that this is where it is. And if it does drop low, then we do expect the dump could take us to this particular region, which is around $15. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. Keep an eye on that one. Right, let's go into some of the other stuff. So we did Swash, we did eGold, we did Dreams. We're flying through this, guys. We're flying through this. Right, let's do this. So I want to talk about Mac. Mac's prediction of 54, and I hope Mac is able to elaborate a little bit on this, what the 54 does, right? So we do have this zone here that we've had for weeks and weeks and weeks, and our little area that we have, actually let me bring it back to the daily, because it was done on the daily. I don't want to change anything here. So on the daily, we've had this box here for some time. Thank you, Mac. Awesome, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. You can see we've had this zone here for some time, and according to this box here, right, in fact, if I was to adjust it down a little bit, maybe I can bring it up to here. That's the best I can do. Yes, we have a 54, but Mac, isn't that a bit risky? That's what I'm asking. I'm saying, isn't that a bit risky? If we do this, and we did this, and we do this, and we come down here, and we actually come into this, isn't that a bit risky? Doesn't this invalidate this area here and now create our lower low? 1 second, guys. Right, so doesn't this create a lower low? Because if this does create a lower low, then we have a problem, which means we end up having a trend line like this. So is that going to be a good thing for us? That's all I'm asking, my brother, nothing else, right? Very simple, just a rising wedge target. Of course, of course. Now, rising wedge targets are great. I like your rising wedge target, my brother, my brother. I see which angle you're taking this. Okay, I like that. I like that. But I have a problem with this, right? Because the problem is look, with a rising wedge target, it's pretty cool, right? Because now that you've put that there, that makes more sense to me why you have this target. So let's just bring this here. And let's bring this here for a second and readjust all of this. Okay, readjust everything and bring it here. So this is a rising wedge, guys, if you understand what a rising wedge means. And you can see we've had contacts here, and we've got contacts here. So what we've got is this range where there's two parallel lines on a wedge. Okay, very simple. Or there's other ways of doing it. I mean, some people will usually just connect diagonal lines. That's another way of doing it as well. But if we did this, actually, yeah, it makes sense what he's saying. All right, so what Mac just said, if I did put this around here, the target would be the bottom of the wedge, right? The target would be the bottom of the wedge, which coincidentally falls at the 54. So yes, of course, this is absolutely possible. So yeah, I'll have some buy orders there. However, I don't want a quicksand zone. So I hope this kind of makes sense, Mac. I don't want a quicksand zone, because if we end up having a quicksand zone, which means if we do come and do this, well, we know what this is. This is a double top, an M pattern. And you know what an M pattern would do, usually go back here. And that's bad, my brother. So I wouldn't really, I mean, I would love to see this push up. Of course, if it dumps, then I have to put some buy orders there. But personally, no, I don't want that at all, because this is dangerous. This is dangerous. It takes the confidence away from the market. It plays into the whales. And yeah, I mean, that's going to be a bad one. That's going to be a bad one. Also, we've got another parallel channel here as well, as you can see. So another parallel, but not too much not too extreme here. I wouldn't really worry too much about that. Let's have a look at first budget, first target. I have set my order to. Awesome, my brother. Posted my prediction, got that. Max says, very simple, just a rising wedge target. Okay, fine. Yes, I'm not bullish. We may have a game over for Bitcoin. I know, exactly. So let's see what that does, bro. I see Monk here. Solana is going up, guys. Buy right now before the price will go too high. Monk, what price did you buy it, bro? I would love to know. We bought it at $1, we bought it at $5, we bought it at $6. So thanks for the info, bro. Mac, actually we have a big wedge and a small one. Yes, I've seen multiple wedges. So I'm looking at this. We're seeing multiple patterns here. Of course, if you look carefully, let me go on a weekly to show you, my brother. So your wedge may be big, my wedge is bigger. Right, my wedge is from 2011, and of course on a wedge we know that the bottom of the wedge is usually where the target should be, right? So for us, we've got this massive 10-year wedge here. That's one, and it's a rising wedge. Of course that is devastating if that crashes. And then of course we've had this wedge here which played out pretty much exact, right? Again, if you look at this on a weekly, you'll understand. So this is on a weekly, and you can see how this wedge, when I can get it, this wedge here itself, wow, there's so much data here, it doesn't want to work. Seriously, let's try and do this. Yeah, so it doesn't want to work. Anyway, we had so much data here, it didn't work, right? And then of course we have this one here that we just formed recently. So you can see this particular area here, the one we just formed recently, and this wedge itself could easily bring us down back to this level here, as we just discussed, which is okay. It's not bad, but I'm just concerned because this does create one big problem for us, and the problem is this particular base of this particular candle. So if we end up falling into this base, nothing's stopping us from going here and then even falling back down here, and that's definitely the end of the market. And obviously by the time we find out, it's too late. And that's the biggest problem we have in this market. By the time we find out, it's too late. So that's why we always say you got to have absolute conviction in what you're buying. You're buying the dip or whatever, and you always buy for about 5 years. If you don't, then that's how you mess up. I know this is a very sad, I really know, but this is what the chart says. Of course, we can only say what the chart says, and I respect your charts, bro. I respect your view, because it's not my view is not absolute. I've said this to you before. I don't do predictions, I do projections. So I'm projecting for it to be positive, law of attraction. But if it's not and the market's over, it's over. Do you know what I mean? And then here I said, if we are in a bear run, rising wedge target will be met 100%. If in a bull run, probably 30-50% will bounce up. Observation since February. Of course, exactly. So this is what it is. Your trend is your friend, right? And ultimately for us, one thing you have to understand is this trend line is intact. This trend line is intact. Of course, we can come down to this trend line and then bounce up again. But also one thing we need to understand is this yellow line here that you can see on the chart, this yellow number, 26th November, is our options expiry date. So we can expect the market to dump and then start recovering before, or continue dumping until that date, right? Until this date, and then recover back again. You know, because this is a continuation pattern that we've seen before. For example, here, dump, and then it starts pumping. So if we do have more dumps until the 26th, then we know the next move is going to be either a pump or not. But we do know one thing though, a lot of people are super bullish on it. I'm telling you, a lot of these institutions and organizations, for them, is bargain galore. This is like the bargain basement, or whatever you want to call it, right? The bargain corner. These are people who didn't enter, you know, and they've been observing, and now they're jumping in. I've even had a few calls today myself, like people saying, oh, bro, you know, when's the right time to buy? And I was like, bro, just buy whenever. Right, let's have a look at what else he says. Yes, that's why I look into other altcoins for my hint, and then got ADA USD chart. Be awesome. Yep, there will be a bounce. So Nightbot is busting it out there. But yeah, I mean, ADA, I'm not super bullish. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not super bullish on ADA. Reason being is because ADA kind of disappointed us when ADA failed to deliver, if that makes any sense, right? So for me, I'm not too bullish on ADA. However, because we've bought ADA way back down here, way back down here, ADA doesn't bother us, right? So we know we're still going to be thousands of percent up, even if ADA comes back down to this invalidation point and dumps. And of course, we have to use one type of coin to indicate what the other type of coin is going to do, right? So in this case, for example, we can see, let's go into total market cap. So we can see market holding, recovering. That's fine. We don't want to know about that. We use BTC as a market indicator. I personally do. And if you use an altcoin, that's absolutely fine as well. So what I do with BTC, everybody knows my technique. I usually just look at the Bitcoin logarithmic chart, right? Just the Bitcoin logarithmic chart. And all I want to see on the logarithmic chart is, where did it bounce? Absolutely, where did it bounce? And you can see here. So this is where the dilemma is, right? And I want to show you this. And this is on a daily, my brother. So please do understand, Mac. And I respect you for what you are doing and what you're giving to us. This point here, this 58,257. If we drop $1 below this, then technically this bull run is going to fall into this area, and it could even be over. That's the sad truth. But if institutions, and we're going to use some logic now, if institutions and other new parties coming into this market want to see massive gains because they've entered late, then what do you think they will do? Do you think they want this to go back down here and that's it? You know, because we can see we've had situations like this. Actually, let me bring on weekly, it will be easier. So we can see we've had these situations before. For example, we've never gone above this, so it wasn't considered a bull market, right? We've stayed below these lines for a very long time. But now that we're here, we are so close. And remember what I say, above this blue line is danger zone. Now that we're so close and we're above this line, do we really want to see this market go down again? Imagine how many institutions will get wiped out here. Of course, I've got a feeling, and this is me being bullish and highly optimistic and projecting, I've got a feeling this could be a recovery and they don't want to take it any further, and they should start pushing it back up again. Because if this comes here, then people lose everything, sentiment goes down, that's it. It just doesn't stop. It's going to be like a quicksand effect where it just goes and it just won't come back down again, you know. So very important for you to also look at this stuff. Also, let me come here 1 second, guys. All right, 1 second. Also, I'm hearing a lot of pings on Discord. I'm not sure if it's coming from us or coming from other groups. I'm going to switch it off. Weekly bearish. Okay, I can see that. Right, I'm going to switch it off so it doesn't ping on my ears the whole time. And that's fine. So this is what we got. Anyway, so this is me just trying to use some logic. You know what I mean? Just trying to use some logic. It's like, okay, look, we got to look at the market where it is. Do we really want to come back down and bounce on this? Because we're expecting 54. But the possibility if we do go to 54 is 47. And to me, that's a low. That's a low that we don't want. That changes everything. Because remember, this was the low that we recently had. Right, and we don't want to go, so we don't want to go below this low, because then we change the trend, and we don't want to do that, you know. And you can see how this line is being protected. So let's see what it does. You know, maybe it recovers, maybe it doesn't, but as long as it stays above this, it's always a danger zone. I kind of demonstrated it with some colors last time. I said, look, once we move over this, we're in the red zone. When we're down here and moving up, we're in the green zone. We're always going to go up. Bounce. I know that was exactly the same in May 19. Of course. But in stock market, when everyone expects something to happen, highly likely not happen. Vice versa. Of course, expect the unexpected. Come on, bro. It's part of my motto. If you're expecting the market to go up and everybody's expecting it to go up, it's going to do the complete opposite. Do you know what I mean? If everyone's hyping into it, aping into it, the market's going to punish you. Do you know what I mean? Market's going to punish you, because remember, it's like there's a puppet master. They observe, they watch. They're the guys sitting there with infinite amount of money or whatever, right? And they're always going to monetize on you, right? So this is what the market does. I guess they have been taking profit along the way from 30. Of course, I don't see a reason why nobody should take profit. And this is one of the reasons why I'm an advocate. I'm an enemy of crypto, because I say, guys, when you make your money, take your money, right? Take your initial out as soon as you can. Why? Because if you take your initial, the market can't touch you, right? You go up, you go down. Of course, you're going to make less. You're going to make less. You're going to be like, oh, dude, you said to me, do. I made less. I could have made 1,000%. I've made 500% because of you. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but your initial's safe. You didn't really risk anything. You could do whatever you want, right? You haven't risked anything. I would rather have a low risk investment in crypto, regardless where the market is. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of the things. I see Ennis here. Awesome, my brother. Yes, and that's a very, very valid point. Very valid point. What Mac just said right now. So Mac just said how they don't sell the top, they sell on the way up. And yes, exactly, that's what's happened. So what happens here is, for example, right, they would scalp the market, right? So for example, if they saw a dip here, they buy here, well, they'll come up to here and sell. So they pick up a dip again, and then they carry on, right? And every time they're doing this, they're literally changing money and continuously increasing their gains. And trust me, institutions don't give a damn about your 100x and your 1000x's that most people try and pump out there, the hype. Oh, we're going to make 1000x, we're going to make 100x. No, I think like the institutions. I'm like, if I've put 10k here and my 10k is now doubled, right? Or I've made 50% on top, like here, 44%. I'm going to take my 10k away, and I'm going to leave the 44 here. I'm going to buy the dip with the 44%, and then I'm going to pump that 44%. That's now almost close. I've got another 40% on that. Well, that's almost double my money. And now I'm playing with profits. I dump here, I buy here, and then what I do, I use my profits to pump this all the way up to here again. Now I've made 60% on top of my profit money. So my initial's already out. I took my initial out in this stage. Then I played with my profit, doubled my profit. Then I re-entered with my profit, doubled it again. So you see what it means. So this is how a proper hedge fund or a fund manager in the crypto, or a, you know, sometimes even trading portfolios and other asset managers, that's how they manage it. You don't risk your capital, you don't risk your initial, you make sure you skim just enough. And every time you do it, you increase by 10, 15, 20%, and you can do it over days, weeks, sometimes even hours. Well, you're constantly building more momentum on your thing. So imagine you did 10% here, and you did, 40% here. Like, for example, we did here 40%. I'll give you a good example, 40%. You did another 40% here. And from here to here, we did another 60%. Add those together, and you're going to be surprised to see that this person did 40-40, which is 80, plus 60. It's 140%. They've just done 140%. And they've just used their own money to do this and take their initial out and keep it that way. So it's a simple way to do it, but of course, low risk. Geez, you got that tune on again, bro. What's that instrumental? Which one? The one I'm listening to now? This one. I'll find the name for it. I'm not sure which one it is, because I just put a whole bunch of tunes in there, and I just made one long tune so it doesn't constantly have to refresh, because when it does, it affects the streaming software. because you know when the new tunes are playing, it goes on forever. So what I did was, this is what I did. So you know, you see the disclaimer video. The disclaimer video is an hour and a half long on repeat with the music inside the video, and just carries on. So that way I can have the disclaimer there without actually doing anything. But I'll definitely check out what tune it is. I'll find it manually and I'll let you know. The one before this. Okay, fine. I'll check it. That's not an issue. I've got to check the time and see what time it played, and I'm sure I can find it on my on the timeline and double check what's going on. Yeah, definitely. I'll have a look at this, bro. No worries. I mean, I'll look for this one and the one before this. I'm sure I've got the name somewhere, because I do normally have them somewhere. Let's see if iMovie has it. Give me a second. Because usually that does save the files, whatever the last thing I did. Let me see. Shut up. Yeah, since the last so let's see. It's loading whatever was last done. I'm sure it should load it, and it should tell me the track name. Yeah, I haven't used it since the last update. I don't really go around editing and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. It's not my game. Sometimes for promotional material I might do some things here and there. Do you know what? This thing is taking forever. Okay, let it load up anyway. Now it's not going to close, guys. No, it's not going to close. Okay, I'll just bring it this way. But yeah, I'll check it out anyway. As I said, I'll check it out and see what's going on. But other than that, guys, I hope Mac, I hope you understood, bro, my concern, and you understand what all of this kind of means if it does dump. Do you know what I mean? 54. Oh, there it is. Look, there it is. There it is. Tell me if you can tell me what the timeline was, because we can see. Hold on, let me just check something. No, I can't see anything because it's live. I'm not sure how long we've been in it. No, I've got it here. Look, I've got the songs here. Unbelievable, Cosmic. I've got so many tracks here. I'm not sure which one it is. As you can see, I've just put it all on the timeline. Just put a repeat on the damn thing. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. I'll find it anyway. I'll find it. I'm sure it's one of these. I'm not sure which one, but it's one of these. Got the tracks here. As you can see, I just made a whole repeat out of this. Yeah, it's a long video, but yeah, we'll find it. As you can see, you know, I'm sure I'll find it here. 354. Awesome. There we go. We've got a timeline now. How? 354, my brother. 354. Let's find 354 for you. Let's see. What's this? 125. Yeah, ignore the noise if you're going to hear anything. 354. So that would be this one. Yeah, so no, it's this one. So it's called Fusion of Doll. Fusion of Doll. It's the one with the Asian music, right? Or something like this, right? With the, yeah, I think that's Fusion of Doll, right? By Akash Gandhi. Akash Gandhi. That would be the one. So I hope this helps. Oh, probably 5 minutes now. So if it's 5 minutes now, let's try and see if I can find you 5 minutes, my brother. If it's 5 minutes, then it would be Two Faces Cosmic. Two Faces. Let me play it for you 1 second. Not this one. Okay. The thing is, you know, when you're live streaming, you can't really tell how long it's been live streaming for. So I have no idea. I'm sure it's somewhere in the middle. We find it anyway. Or if you do find a timestamp, let me know. And as I said, I'll just go through this. It's still here. I did, you know, that's the good thing about it. Any projects I've done recently, it will stay there. It will stay there. So we'll check this out next time anyway. Let's stick to crypto. Mac, let's see. What did Mac say? If BTC turns now or retest 58 and turn bullish, then we may still be fine and gotta evaluate those diverge. Of course. So 58 is okay. Listen, I'm okay with 58, right? But when it comes to 54, then I'm really concerned. I am absolutely. Let me refresh this. Give me a second, guys. If it goes to what did I say? So if it goes anything below 58, because look, 58, in fact, all the way up to 56 is okay. So from my point of view, 56, even 54 is not bad. Even if I leave this as it is, then 55, 56 is okay. If we fall below this and invalidate this particular area, so you can see this, we've got this nice little area here, which we've created very recently. If we fall below this, we got a problem. We got an absolute big problem on our hands. So we don't want that. We don't want that. So yeah, let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. But listen, when you look at the higher time frames, of course, you can see, for example, we do have this divergence forming here. Give me a second. Let me show you this. So we have, seriously? Dude, just go in there. What's wrong with you? So you see this bearish divergence here on the weekly. Of course, it's fine. But then again, one thing you have to understand on a weekly, if you look carefully, we had a 3-week rip. So we pump for 3 weeks. Of course, we're going to dump. But the week's not over, because remember, this particular week is over on Sunday. So let's see what it does. You know, until then, we shouldn't make any judgment calls. Let's see what it does. However, on a monthly, remember, we have a bullish divergence on a monthly, and you can't deny this. Of course, it looks a little bit bearish here, but to me, it looks very, very bullish. It looks very, very bullish. So guys, I've got to go and pee. I'm not going to make this long. And JBs, if you're on Discord, let me know what time it is, and I'll find that track, bro, and I'll give you the track name and exactly where to find it, because I use a lot of copyright free music. I use those, and a lot of the time I usually just download it direct from YouTube. So some of those tracks are actually available on YouTube, you know, and there's no copyright on them, nothing, so you can use them without any restriction. So I'll send you the link or whatever you need, at least that way you can grab the track, and once you got it, it's yours, bro. Do whatever you want with it. That's how I play my playlist anyway. I don't listen to music but for the music. So yeah, other than that, guys, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, okay, and catch me in Discord if you want, and we talk and we do all sorts of other crazy stuff there. But other than that, yeah, market looks a bit down, but we just gotta have our fingers crossed right now. I believe, honestly, fingers crossed that we can get back into this zone and reverse this, because if we don't, we're done for. We're done for. So yeah, Nightbot says be awesome, be awesome. Shares the link as well. I love that, how it shares that link. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm gonna catch you on another one tomorrow. Hopefully I should be a lot more happy, and I might even have a shave. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have a shave now. But we'll definitely catch up tomorrow, and we'll talk a little bit more, and let's observe the market. And of course, if you guys are on Discord, please, please, please let us know, okay, if you new ideas or anything that happens on the charts, so the community can know. If there's something, an emergency or something, drop it as a, you know, just do a tag at everyone, tag everyone, and we'll do this. See ya, take profit, mate. I got to go. Awesome, my brother, thank you. Should I sell my ETH? Ask JBs. I don't know. Should you sell anything? This is the thing. It's like, okay, some people are super bearish, some people are bullish, others are mutual. It depends on where you are, bro. So you got to decide, make that decision, you know. Buy back in, yeah, if we're certain the market's going to go down. According to what's his name, Mac, we are going down, but according to this chart on a 4-hourly, this is super solid. Do you know what I mean? According to this on a 4-hourly, this is super solid. Of course, on a daily, it looks bearish. Maybe you have an opportunity to buy back, but it is going to be, you know, one of those that you have to make that call. But on a 4-hourly, I mean, just look at this. This is a bullish divergence forming here. We can see the indicators are suggesting that we should be moving back up. Of course, when we look at other profiles, like for example, when we activate volume profile, we can see that the volume has been a little bit of a dead volume. But question is, how long can it last? And so far, also, if you look at this on a complete different perspective, the perspective of, let's do this, take these off. Right, a very simple perspective, right? Very, very simple perspective. Actually, I'm going to deactivate this as well. Deactivate that as well, right? So if you just look at this on a candle perspective, that's what you're seeing. You see this undecided candle here, undecided candle here, and you can see this very bullish candle here. So again, it depends on the time frames you're looking at things. Higher time frames give you different data, lower time frames give you different data. You know, whether this is going to dump or this is going to go up, we don't know. So far I'm seeing a lower high on a 4 hourly. This is a lower high and another lower high. Of course, it's not the best, but if this does reverse, then it will surprise everybody. It could easily pump 10-15% very fast. Also, when you look at the entire market, what you see a lot of these coins. So let's go to the entire market, all. So we can see some USD now being bloody, but earlier on today, all of the USD pegs were pumping hard. I'm telling you, they were like on the top thing, top 200 top gainers. There it is. Look, there it is. Of course, I don't know. I mean, power's been pumping on KuCoin, so that's one of the reasons it's really hot today. But look, this has got the massive amount of volume going into USDT right now. So just play cautiously. You know, that's all I'm going to say. Play cautiously. When you look at all of this, you can see pretty much everything is bloody, apart from some of the good coins like Sand and this and that doing really awesome. I did refresh this earlier on. We're at 71%, slightly bearish. But again, look, we're above that 50% mark. So market's not entirely bearish. You see what I mean? It's just one of those momentum thing. I did refresh this earlier. I'm going to refresh this again, actually. Yeah, we can see BTCs now started to move out of the exchanges, and we're going to get a lot of signals coming in as well. $8 billion worth of ETH went to Kraken. Awesome. But they have to be able to sell. You see, if they take it to Kraken and if they got no liquidity and they can't sell it to people, then what happens is they got to drop the prices. But if there's some sort of an event or some sort of a staking event or something on Kraken, it could be just taken for that reason. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the times money moves exchange to exchange because of these new events and everything. So also keep that in mind, you know, also keep that in mind. But other than that, guys, I'm going to rush. I've got to go pee. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Other than that, adios, my amigos.